Hi friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC Learning English Solution. Friends, today on this podcast we are going to discuss about transformation. Actually, my dear friends, it will be a series of videos and today this is the first part. My dear friends, transformation actually means to change the structure of the sentence. That means we change the form of the sentence, we change the structure of the sentence from one type to another type. My dear friends, it should be remembered that we cannot change the meaning of the sentence. Just we change the structure. Just like this one, if I say I play football. My dear friends, if we wanna change it into a negative one, then we should write down I do not play, maybe the opposite of this term. But here if we write down cricket, then it will be a correct one. Actually, we just change the structure. Here it's an affirmative sentence and we are writing down in negative form. Just change the structure of the sentence, but we did not change the meaning. It is the most important thing. We have to remember it always. Now, my dear friends, what is synthesis? Synthesis means combination, you can say, or you can say joining. Actually, my dear friends, today on this podcast we will discuss about this one. Two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Friends, you know, simple sentence means there must be one subject and one finite verb. There may be the other words, that's not so important, but in the entire sentence there will be only one subject and only one finite verb. These types of sentences are called simple sentences, and today we will try to combine two simple sentences. We'll try to combine this type of two simple sentences into one simple sentence. That means in this structure there will be one subject, one verb. In this structure also there will be one subject and one verb. And we'll just change the structure of this sentence and we will write down subject, then verb, then other word. That means in our new sentence there will be one subject and one verb. My dear friends, there are different ways by which we can change the structure. Let's think about this one. My dear friends, this is the most common usage of this synthesis. Friends, we can use participle for combining two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Now, the question is that what is participle? Actually, my dear friends, participle is the verb form. It is one of the verb forms. It is used in this way, the base form of the verb and ing, just like this one, swimming. But this form is used as an adjective. Whenever verb with ing, it is used as an adjective, at that time it is called participle. So my dear friends, whenever we are using this participle, it means that it is an adjective, not a verb. Let's look at the example. The thief saw the police. He ran away. My dear friends, you can see here there are two simple sentences. Here the subject is the thief, this is the verb, and this is the other words. And here this is the subject, this is the verb. Actually the entire part is the verb. So here Friends, you can see two subjects and two verbs are there. But my dear friends, in new sentence, we have to write down only one verb and one subject. We cannot use more than one subject or more than one finite verb. That's why we'll use participle. So you know participle is the ing form. That means verb with ing. This form. We'll use this one. Now my dear friends, one thing we must remember, whenever we'll go to use participle, we must remember the subject of this sentence and the subject of this second sentence, that will be the same. If this subject is not same, then there is a chance of dangling. Dangling is a separate thing. We'll make separate video for it. Sometimes we use dangling participle in sentences, which is not right. In speaking, in speaking there is no such problem, but in writing English, dangling participle is a mistake. So we have to be careful about using the subject. These two subjects must be only one person. Here we are saying something about the thief. That means the subject is, there is actually one subject. That means both of these person are same. So we can use participle. Now whenever we are gonna use participle, we have to remember we can use three types of participle. One is called present participle, one is called present participle, second one is called past participle, and the third one is perfect participle. Perfect participle. My dear friends, to show two actions going on simultaneously, or two actions are going on at the same time, for this purpose only we use present participle. If here you can see, and this is the first usage. My dear friends, for simultaneous action we can use present participle. That means two actions are going on at the same time. And there is another usage of present participle. If one action is completed, suppose this action is completed, and after that in this point this action is completed, and after that the second action started. From this point the second action started. My dear friends, between these two activities there is no such loss of time. In this situation we can use present participle. Here you can see the thief saw the police, he ran away. Obviously my dear friends, if the thief see the police, obviously at once he will try to run away from there. Obviously he will not waste any time over there. So my dear friends, we can use present participle in this situation. So we should write down, my dear friends, we will use this form, saw. You know my dear friends, see is the present form, saw is the past form, and seen is the past participle form. We will use this verb here, seeing the police, then comma, the thief ran away. Friends, look at this sentence. Actually in this sentence, seeing, this is not the verb. The police, this is not the subject. There is nothing. This is actually a participle phrase. We have used this term as present participle. This is present participle. And my dear friends, with this word, this entire group of words has become a participle phrase. So there is no such subject, there is no such verb. And here this is the subject, the thief, this is the subject, and ran away, this is the verb. So my dear friends, in this sentence you can see there is only one subject and one verb. So my dear friends, we can say, so the structure is actually subject, then verb, then there is nothing, before that there is the other words. This is the structure actually. So in this sentence, friends, you can see there is only one subject and only one verb. So we can call it a simple sentence. It can be called a simple sentence because there is only one subject and only one verb. And this is the participle phrase, or you can say the extension of this sentence. Now friends, I just told you this is the participle phrase. Now friends, this term seeing, it has the force of adjective and also it has the force of the verb. My dear friends, here you can see the subject is the thief. That means for this group of words the subject is thief, and for this group of words also the subject is thief. Actually the thief saw the police. If we write down here, if we write down the thief saw the police, then it will be meaningful. So friends, it's not a dangling, because if we write down the thief here, actually the thief is the subject. If we write down here the thief, the meaning will be the same, just like the given two simple sentences. That means we have not changed the meaning of the sentence, and obviously we have changed the structure, and it is the way by which you can write down the participle for making simple sentence. My dear friends, this is the present participle. In case of past participle, if the action is completed, then we can write down past participle. I am just going to give you one example. Let's look at the example. I am writing down one example. Let's look at this. I purchased a broken chair. Look at this sentence, my dear friends. Here, this is the subject, this is the verb, and it is the adjective. Third form of the verb, that means past participle form of verb, and it is used as adjective in the sentence. You can see it is modifying the chair. It's a noun, and you know, my dear friends, if any word which modifies the noun, these are called adjectives. So here this broken refers this chair, so obviously it's an adjective. And you can see, my dear friends, this is the past participle form of the verb break. So here the past participle form is used as adjective in the sentence. It is called past participle. If we try to split this sentence, it will be I purchased a chair, it was broken. So this is the splitting of this sentence. If we try to join this sentence, it will be in this way: I purchased a broken chair. My dear friends, this is called past participle. And there is another thing which is called perfect participle. Let's look at the example. Ram completed his homework. He went to play. Friends, two sentences are there. Ram completed his homework. He went to play. So this is the subject, this is the verb, and these are the other words. This is the subject, this is the verb, this is the other words. So these are two simple sentences. And if we try to join these by using participle, my dear friends, we have to use perfect participle. Here from this part, you can see, my dear friends, two activities are completed. And here you can see Ram completed his homework. That means the work is completed. And he went to play. This is also completed. That means two completed action. And in this situation, we can use perfect participle. And the structure of perfect participle is having then past participle form of the verb. This is the structure of perfect participle. So my dear friends, here we can write down having completed his homework, then comma, Ram went to play. So my dear friends, this entire part, having completed his homework, this is a participle phrase. This is perfect participle. This is the ing form and this is the V3. But here in this sentence, it is not the past participle form of the verb, rather it is the adjective. It is adjective, it is not verb here. So my dear friends, in this sentence only one subject is there and only one verb is there. And you know, to play, this is not verb, it is actually infinitive. Infinitive, actually to plus verb, present form of verb, it is used as noun. So it's not a verb, there is only one verb and one subject, so it's a simple sentence. My dear friends, in this way we can write down or we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence. There is another way. Let's look at this. I saw a bird. This is one simple sentence. It was flying. There is another simple sentence. Friends, here it is the continuous verb. Continuous verb. My dear friends, whenever this ing form is preceded by any kind of auxiliary verbs, obviously it's a continuous verb. So this is the subject, and here this is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the object. We are not concerned about this one right now. So I saw a bird, it was flying. So whenever I saw the bird, at that time it was flying. In this structure can be changed by using a participle in this way: subject, then verb, then if there is any object or other words, whatever is there, and after that participle. In this way we can change it. So my dear friends, we can write down I saw the bird. I saw the bird, then only the participle, flying. This is the subject, this is the verb, this is the object, and this is the present participle. That means it's an adjective. It's not a verb. So only there is one subject and one verb. So it's a simple sentence. My dear friends, in this way we can form simple sentences. My dear friends, this is the second procedure by using infinitive. My dear friends, we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence by using infinitive. Now what is infinitive? Actually, infinitive means this structure: to, then V1, just like this one, to play. Friends, this is not a verb. This is actually used as noun in the sentence. By using infinitive, we can transform two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Let's look at the example. I am writing down one example. Let's look at this. I went there. Then this is the first sentence. I met my friend. This is the second sentence. So this is the subject, this is the verb, this is the subject, this is the verb. So this is one simple sentence, this is another simple sentence. We can combine these two simple sentences by using infinitive. And we can rewrite I went there, then this infinitive to meet. We have to write down the present form, my dear friend, to meet my friend. In this way, we can rewrite the sentence. I went there to meet my friend. This is infinitive. This is called infinitive. Or you can say this is actually the noun. My dear friends, so here in this sentence, this is the subject and this is the verb, and these are the other words. This is not a verb here. So one subject, one verb, that means it's a simple sentence. My dear friends, this is the second system. Friends, the third way is to use a noun or phrase in apposition. I am writing down only apposition. Noun in apposition. By using noun in apposition or a phrase in apposition. In this way, we can make simple sentences. Now, apposition means, suppose, my dear friends, in one sentence we wrote down here one noun, and after that we put down a comma, then we write down a phrase or a group of words or even a single word, whatever it may be. These group of words describe this person. That means both of these persons are same. That means we are using this word in apposition of this word, or we can say we are using this group of words in apposition of this word. In this way, we can write down simple sentence. Actually, my dear friends, both of these persons are same. I'm just giving you one example. Let's look at this. Rabindranath Tagore was a great poet. He wrote the Gitanjali. So Rabindranath Tagore was a great poet. He wrote the Gitanjali. So this is the first sentence. Rabindranath Tagore, this is the subject. This is verb, and these are the other words. And here, this is the subject. This is the verb. These are other words. So here, my dear friends, we are rewriting in this way. Rabindranath Tagore this is the noun, and we just put down a comma here, and then we are writing down a great poet. Then wrote the Gitanjali. Here, my dear friends, Rabindranath Tagore and the great poet, both are same person. That means we are using this group of words, or we are using this phrase in apposition of this noun. Or you can say this group of words describe this person. So this is called noun in apposition or phrase in apposition. And my dear friends, actually this is the subject here, Rabindranath Tagore, this is the verb, and these are the other words. So in this sentence, you can see we have used only one subject, one verb, so we can call it a simple sentence. My dear friends, this is the third way by which we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence. My dear friends, this is the fourth way. That means we can write down, I am just only write down adverb. By using adverbs, we can rewrite this sentence. Friends, I'm just writing down one example. I reached the spot. I reached the spot. I reached Friends, here I have written adverb. Actually, my dear friends, by using adverb, we can rewrite the sentences. That means by using adverb, we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Here I have written one example. Let's look at this. I reached the spot. This is the subject, this is the verb. Here, this is the subject, this is the verb. So, two simple sentences are there. We'll only use the verb form of instant. Let's look at these example. Let's look at the answer. I reached the spot. My dear friends, only we will use the adverb form of instant, and that is instantly. So the sentence is I reached the spot instantly. This is the adverb form of this one, instant. By using adverb, we can write down a simple sentence. My dear friends, this is the fourth ways. My dear friends, we can rewrite this sentence in this structure to then adjective or adverb, then infinitive. In this way, we can write down the sentence. Infinitive means 2 plus V1. By applying this structure, we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence. But my dear friends, we have to be very careful about it. I'm just writing down one structure. Let's look at this. I'm writing down one example. The person is very weak. He cannot walk. Can't walk. My dear friends, whenever this simple sentence, one simple sentence is in affirmative form and another simple sentence in negative form. This is a negative sentence, this is an affirmative sentence. Whenever you can see this type of structure, you can apply this adverb. So 2 T2, then adjective or adverb. Obviously, after that we have to use one adjective or adverb, and after that infinitive. Or you can say 2 the plus V1. So this term, basically this term, it is used in negative sense. So we can rewrite this sentence in this way. The person is too weak. T2, too weak to walk. It means the person was very weak that he cannot walk. So here this is the subject and this is the verb. And you can see this is actually an adverb. It is actually an adverb. It is adjective. And this is infinitive. So in this sentence you can see there is only one subject and one verb. So we can call it a simple sentence. This is the most important structure. Only we have to be careful about these one. The first one is affirmative, the second one is negative. Whenever there is a negative sentence, at that time we can use T2 and this structure actually. T plus TO. This structure only is used in this sense. One part is negative. My dear friends, I think you can understand this situation. Preposition maybe for, maybe by, then gerund. then one noun. By using this structure, we can write down one simple sentence. That means we can combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence by using this structure. Let's look at the example. He received the award. He saved the country. So two simple sentences are there. He received the award. This is the first one, and he saved the country. This is the second one. My dear friends, we can rewrite this sentence in this way. He received the award for saving the country. For saving the country. Look at this sentence. This is the subject of this sentence. This is the verb, and this is the object. And here we have written for. This is the preposition, and after that we have used a gerund. Actually, every preposition needs one object, and that must be a noun or pronoun. Here we have made the noun form of this one. It is actually a gerund. It is called gerund. It is not participle. Don't be confused about it. It is a gerund, and after that this is the noun. So the structure is here preposition, then gerund, then noun, and it is a simple sentence. My dear friends, in this way we can write down, or we can synthesis, we can combine two simple sentences into one. My dear friends, in this type of sentences we can use these form also, these preposition by also. I'm just going to give you one example. Let's look at this. He sells clothes. He earns his living. Friends, you can see there are two simple sentences. I have written here two simple sentences. Now, by using this structure, actually here we will use the preposition by. By using this structure, we can rewrite it. Let's look at this. So he sells clothes, he earns his living. So we can write down he earns his living by selling clothes. This is the subject, this is the verb, and these are the other words. And you can see this structure. This is preposition, this is gerund, and this is noun. My dear friends, in this way we can join two simple sentences into one simple sentence. So my dear friends, it's time to call it a day. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much.